Okay. How to be wise. The simplest way I could tell you is in a quote. Sorry, there's a quote. The simplest way I could tell you is in a quote. And it goes like this. A smart man learns from his mistakes, but a wise man learns from other people's mistakes. Let me tell you again. A smart man learns from his mistakes, but a wise man learns from other people's mistakes. There, that's it. If you can understand that, if you can understand that, then you're good. You don't got like that's the quote I live by. That's the quote I live by, and it's been holding true for like pretty long. But if you don't understand, if you don't understand the quote, if the quote wasn't much help, then let me break it down like this. This is how to be wise in any and all situations, whether you're walking into work, walking into a group, or you just want to be the wise one in the room. First thing you gotta do is stop, look, and listen. I say stop, look, and listen because you just like the first step to be wise is easy. Stop, look, and listen. Like just stop what you're doing, shut down your mind, and look, listen, observe. Like pay attention to what's going on around you, how people are acting, like how people are acting, how the people are acting, how the people are not talking, acting. Like just pay attention to all that. And then when it gets, and then pay attention to all that. Like, oh my God, you don't know how much observing is. Just observing, you be wise. But yeah, stop, look, and listen. Stop what you're doing. Look around, and then listen to what's being said. Like you're smart enough. Engage with your own experience. What the mood, what the tempo, whatever. What's the environment like? But that's just step one. Like stop, look, and listen is to observe and gain information. So, but if you come across the awkward silence where all eyes are on you and you have to talk, the next part of being wise is ask questions. But don't just ask questions to seem like profound, to seem like you're wise, or like 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 you're a critical thinker. Like no, you ask questions to gain more understanding. Gain more understanding of the situation. Have gain the key information that you're missing, or yeah, just ask questions to gain a better understanding. Like, and so what goes with asking questions is keeping an open mind. Don't think you know it all. Don't think you know the right answer. Even if you think you know the right answer, like put that thought to the side and just shut up and humble yourself and just ask questions. The third part is once you ask your questions, once you gain that understanding, you take that little bit, you add it with the knowledge, the experience, and all the wisdom that you already have, put it together you combine it, put it together to foresee possible outcomes for the actions at play. So however you read the situation, however you see it, you think about possible actions on your part, on their part, on whoever's part, whatever you feel inclined to do. But like whatever answers you're looking for, combine your knowledge with the information you just got and foresee possible outcomes. And you might think that's just it. Like no, like you become wise to predict future outcomes, steer yourself out of trouble. Like you foresee problems coming. You see problems before other people do. That's being wise. But oh yeah, I forgot. Like, after you stop, look, and listen, after you ask questions and gain more understanding, after you put your knowledge, your experience, your wisdom, and incorporate it with the information you just received, and you thought of possible outcomes to the actions of those of you and around you, then this is where the wisdom comes into play. Wisdom, the wisdom is in decision. The wisdom is in decision. Because you could have your knowledge, you could have your facts, you could have your experiences, you could have all that. But wisdom is all that. But wisdom is all that with a sense of deep knowing, with a sense of deep knowing of what's the right decision. With a sense of deep knowing of what's the right decision, regardless of who it helps. But yeah, I'll just real quick. So yeah, stop, look, and listen. Ask questions to observe, ask questions to gain more understanding, and incorporate your knowledge, your experience with the knowledge you just gained, with the most recent knowledge you just gained. Put that together, to produce foreseeable futures, foreseeable outcomes, and then wisdom is deciding which one is the right one to do. But yeah, back to the quote. Like, it was kind of hard to explain it, but I live by this quote. A smart man learns from his mistakes, but a wise man learns from other people's mistakes. Like, even babies are smart. You could tell a baby, don't touch the stove, it's hot. But some of us are hard-headed. Some of us are gonna have to, I've been told this all their life. Like, some of us gonna have to learn the hard way. And some of us learn those lessons the hard way. So, but here's the point. Here's the kicker. You always have a point. You always have a decision to be wise. But yeah, back to the baby. The mother tells the baby, don't touch the stove. If the baby touches the stove and gets burned, the baby's gonna learn for next time not to touch the stove. But what about his little brother, who watched him touch the stove and get burnt, crying, and saw that it was bad? So, but the little brother's wise enough to know, like, he had empathy to see, like, oh no, that action created this outcome, and that outcome I want nothing to do. So he refrains from touching the stove. That's a little wise baby. But yeah, I don't know where I'm going with this. It's kind of everywhere. But the importance of learning from other people's mistakes, because you could learn the hard way. Like, you could just say whatever. You could just say whatever. And like, yeah, sure, you don't know what you're talking about. Like, when you're young, you think you know it all. Even when you're a little older, you think you know it all. But yeah, learn from other people's mistakes, because unless you're willing to learn the hard way, and if you're willing to learn the hard way, when you're going through those struggles, when you're going through that outcome, I don't want to hear no complaints. You asked for it, you said you didn't care, and so don't care. I don't want to hear about it. Don't waste my time with it. Don't waste yours. But my point is how to be wise. Live by this quote: a smart man learns from his mistakes. Everybody's smart. Everyone knows not to touch the stove right after they just got burnt. But the wise man He learned from the other person getting burned. He learned from the other person getting hurt. He learned from the other person going to jail. He learned. He learned. He was able to, in simple wisdom, is just recognizing patterns to see the future. You're like, this leads to that, and I know what this, based on your knowledge of based on your knowledge of human behavior, how people act, and human behavior, and how you'll interact with a situation, you make the best possible choice. And then, like you said, the wisdom's in the decision. You'll know you're right. You'll know you're right, or you know you're wrong, right then and there, or sometime after. But that's the game we play. That's the life we live. But yeah, stop, look, and listen. Fight your urge to speak up. Fight your urge to say your 2 cents. Fight your urge to speak up. Like, just watch. Don't say nothing. Don't feel type of way. The conversation, if you don't like what's going on, the conversation still just listen. You don't know you might jump the gun and like you missed the most important part. So stop, look, listen, ask questions to gain an understanding, then incorporate that knowledge with your own experience and formulate possible outcomes. Low key wisdom. People who are wise to predict the future. Like, it's not that hard. Like, cause and effect, one action leads to another action. Like, it's common sense. But yeah, dang, there's a bunch of squirrels here. But yeah, then use that knowledge, to foresee possible outcomes in the future. But then be wise, make the right decision, whether it's helpful towards you, helpful towards others. But then I hope you learned something. I'll see you in the next one.